What's going on, guys? Please remember to like, share, subscribe to the content. It's Black Wing Opinion. And tonight we are going to go over President Trump signing the bill to reopen the government. Now, this is a bittersweet moment for not only him, but the American people because they get to go back to work, they get to collect a paycheck, and catch up on their bills due to Chuck Schumer and the mindless Democrats that decided to stage a shutdown for 43 days, putting a lot of people through pain and suffering because they didn't get their way, and also save some of their jobs, such as Chuck Schumer, who will be primaried probably in the next couple of years. Um, and rightfully so. I mean, he's a poor leader. AOC said it best. He is a reflection of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is weak. They couldn't pass anything to save their lives, especially when it comes to legislation. You have certain people that are just worried about more so their name as opposed to what they can do for the American people. And then you have others that just want to bash Trump all day. You even have Democratic leaders that can't keep Trump out of their mouth. One of those people is Hakeem Jeffries. If you ask him how to tie a shoe, he's going to mention that it's Donald Trump's fault that he can't tie his shoe. Um, Now, the whole mantra of the Democratic Party is to blame Trump, but Trump keeps on winning. Now, the man has faced impeachments. He's faced 34 felonies that everybody talks about, which got reduced. It was a political witch hunt, come to find out, turned into hush money. I mean, what more can he do? Um, Comes into office, tries to implement his Trump agenda, gets a big, beautiful bill passed, and then all of a sudden he's facing these court orders by uh, these lower ranked judges, and just to slow up what he's trying to do. But he keeps on trucking and keeps on winning. And now here's the whole Epstein debacle, and I mean, all they're going to do his whole presidency is just throw things at him to try to slow him down, but he just keeps beating him. I mean, you got to give it to him. I mean, even if you're a Republican or a Democrat, it shouldn't matter at this point. Man keeps beating things, he keeps winning. Um, and he definitely got a big W a couple of nights ago when the House of Representatives had a 220 to 209 vote to reopen the government. Now, this is after, of course, 43 days of the shutdown, causing air travel to be, a cluster, causing people to, be furloughed or not even get paid or receive partial payments. SNAP benefits members, they receive partial payments. Now they're getting their full payments. And a lot of people want to blame him for SNAP, but you got to remember the Democrats denied that 14 times in the clean CR bill, and then made an excuse that, oh, it has, Republican undertones in that bill, when it really didn't. It was the same CR bill. I mean, it's public record. You can look it up for yourself. I mean, they kept going with that lie, and people kept going with it. And, the Republican Party, I mean, not the Republican Party, excuse me, the Democratic Party, they play on emotionalism. They, cry racism and cry unfairness, but what they did to the American people wasn't fair. A lot of people didn't deserve what happened to them. And it was all orchestrated by Chuck Schumer and his cronies. And it's really unfortunate because, the Democratic Party was a party for the people. Now it seems like they're a party for the rich because they want to negotiate Obama subsidies that they could have done way back when, decided not to do it, had plenty of time to do it, and now, when it comes to the get down, you decide to, you know, make the American people your scapegoat and cause them to suffer. But tonight I'm going to be going over this video of Trump signing the bill to reopen the government because it is a historic milestone. And not the government being shut down for a record amount of days. I'm not even considering that. Actually consider that as an atrocity, and it's really shameful what the Democratic Party did. They're really gutless people, if you ask me, to do that and hurt the American people, and they will remember this.
Of the United States in an attempt to extort American taxpayers for hundreds of billions of dollars for illegal aliens and people that came into our country illegally, from gangs, from prisons, from mental institutions. They wanted to pay them $1.5 trillion, which would have really hurt our healthcare businesses and our recipients at levels never seen before. Today, we're sending a clear message.
And it did hurt the healthcare recipients. It did because the healthcare recipients are taxpayers. Um, they really hurt the American people with this. Like I said, it's really a shame.
That we will never give in to extortion, because that's what it was. They tried to extort. The Democrats tried to extort our country. In just a moment, I'll sign a bill exactly like we asked Democrats to send us all along, many days ago. This cost the country $1.5 trillion, this little excursion that they took us on. Republicans never wanted a shutdown and voted 15 times for a clean continuation of funding. There's never been a time when.
Now, how many times has Mike Johnson been on the podium saying that, hey, we don't want a government shutdown? We wish the Democrats would be bipartisan, not to be bipartisan, but come together as a bipartisan to open the government up so people can get paid and life can go on. How many times did he have to do that? And what did Democrats say? Oh, well, we're not going to open the government up until there are negotiations on Obama subsidies. So you mean to tell me these are the same Obama subsidies that, the rich take advantage of, the rich healthcare tycoons? Unfortunately, one of them was assassinated due to, radical left lunatic ideology. I don't want anybody to lose their life depending on what position they're in. I mean, more power to them that they got there. But the Democrats played a dangerous game and they lost. The reason why they lost was because they weren't transparent. And when they were transparent, it was evil towards the American people. Saying that, you want to see pain and suffering, you want to see planes explode, you want to see people in turmoil, that is a different type of evil I will never want to delve into. But, the sad part about it is a lot of people right now to this day are behind on their bills because of Chuck Schumer. They're behind on their bills because of Hakeem Jeffries. They're behind on their bills because of the Democrats voting 14 to 15 times no on the clean CR bill. That's just the reality of it. And it seems to me as though they're just trying to sabotage their party. But meanwhile, over on the conservative Republican side, Donald Trump just keeps on winning.
One or the other party ever didn't sign a continuation. It's just a continuation, not a big deal. It's a continuation, and we'll talk later. Yet the extremists in the other party insisted on creating the longest government shutdown in American history, and they did it purely for political reasons. I want to thank Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as well as House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Majority Whip Tom Emmer, and numerous other great Republican leaders and congressmen and senators who are here and who frankly spent a long time in Washington getting this thing to go away. I also want to thank the broad coalition of Americans that stood with us in this fight to reopen government, including the Teamsters, the American Federation of Government Employees, the Fraternal Order of Police, AMVETS, the National Small Business Association, the American Farm Bureau, the American Trucking Association. These are all incredible patriots. The Airlines for America, the Allied Pilots Association, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, and many others, unions and non-unions. Over the past 7 weeks,
Now, you just heard all of the organizations and groups that he's named. Now, a lot of these groups were the people that jumped ship from the Democratic Party and were saying, hey, you guys need to open the government up. Because I think, a lot of Democratic senators and also lawmakers saw what was going on with the American people. Now, if all of these groups, were saying, hey, open up the government, I think it would have been time to open up the government a long time ago. But again, you have these Democrats that, you know, have their jobs on the line. And they thought they were doing something right by their party by staging this coup. This is a coup. This is a shutdown coup. Pretty much, putting the American people's lives at stake. Especially people who own Snap. Now, everybody's saying, oh, President Trump wanted to cancel Snap. No, he didn't want to cancel Snap. But he did it as a message to Chuck Schumer saying that, hey, if you can go far, I go farther. This was just a game of chicken. And Chuck Schumer lost, and he lost bad. Not only did he lose the leadership of his party, you know, when you look at his reputation, he's the real lame duck. Because when push comes to shove, oh little Chucky, he squeals like a pig. And that's what happened. How many times did he get in front of the Senate? Did he get in front of his constituents and say, this is a Trump orchestrated shutdown? How many times did he do that? Only to quiver, like a little kid that got in trouble, getting his butt whooped. That's what he did. He took his ball and went home.
Democrats shut down has inflicted massive harm. They caused 20,000 flights to be canceled or delayed. They departed so many times, so late. People were hurt so badly. Nobody's ever seen anything like this one. This was a no-brainer. This was an easy extension. But they didn't want to do it the easy way. They had to do it the hard way. And they look very bad, the Democrats do. They deprived more than 1 million government workers from their paychecks and cut off food stamp benefits for millions and millions more Americans in need. They caused tens of thousands of federal contractors and small businesses to go unpaid. And the total effect of the damage their antics caused will take weeks and probably months to really calculate accurately, including the serious harm that they did to our economy and to people and to families. So I just want to tell the American people, you should not forget this. When we come up to midterms and other things, don't forget what they've done to our country. I also want to...
He's right. Don't forget this. Midterms are right around the corner. I mean, if there are people that are still going to vote Democrat, go ahead, do what you got to do. But, for the people on the moderate side or on the fence, I mean, it seems like the Democratic Party got joy out of your suffering, got joy out of people, not being paid, having to work and not get paid for over 40 some odd days. A lot of people miss their mortgage payments twice because of this. And I just want to let you guys know that, this is unacceptable for any party. Even if the Republicans were doing this, this would be unacceptable. This is not a party thing. This is more so of a human thing. And it really shows that the Democrats were willing to, sacrifice the livelihood of human beings, which were American citizens in this country, for just a few moments of political gain. I mean, I need you guys to let that sink in. The reason being is because it's terrible. it, it's really terrible to even think of. I'd understand if we were at war or, you know, um, we were at a crisis, but this was a politically manufactured crisis by the Democrats. And I think this is something that's unforgivable. And the people that still rock on their side, like, I get it. Like, you want to stay loyal to a party, but do you really want them doing this again because they didn't get their way? Do you really? I mean, you guys let me know in the comments section what you guys think. I'm going to end it here. He goes on a little bit to, talk about some of the other groups, and then he signs the bill into law. This was at around 10:17 p.m. They waited and voted on this. So just really shows the dedication of some of these lawmakers and congressmen and women. And, I think the Republican Party continues to show the dedication to the American workers and the American people in general. So let me know what you guys think. This is Blackwing Opinion. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, or tell a friend to tell your cousin. Either way, I'm out.